Welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia, and this week we are going to talk about how to talk about what you're working on. This is a very useful lesson. You will learn some things you can use at school and at work and even at home, I suppose, too. Today we're going to practice 3 grammar points that I know are very challenging and very confusing to many learners. So today we're going to talk about when we use each grammar point, how to put the grammar points together with other phrases, and when you should use them. So as you join, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video because it helps us to reach other learners and other people who can benefit from this lesson. Make sure you send a message in the live chat. Also, I will try to check live in just a second and say hello to everybody. While we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to mention this banner at the bottom of the screen that says download your free 2,000-word ebook. The team has created a free PDF ebook that has the 2,000 core words of English. The core words of English are the 2,000, in this case, most commonly used words for everyday communication. So if you want to make sure you study the most important words first, check out this free PDF ebook at EnglishClass101.com. You just need your name and an email address to make a free account if you do not have an account, and then you can come back to this page and download this free ebook. You can find all the details from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook, so check it out and enjoy. I hope that helps with your vocabulary and learning good words quickly. Okay, looks like everything is rolling. Facebook, I don't see any comments on Facebook yet. What's up, anybody watching? Some people are watching on Facebook, but there's no comments. What's up? YouTube, what's up? Hello, Jacob, Itachi, Jamila, I hope I said your name correctly, Nihala, Shehab, Pablo, what's up, everybody? Cool. Let's begin because we have a lot to cover today. Get your notebook ready. We're going to talk about some grammar. Let's begin. First grammar point today is present progressive. The other name for this grammar point is present continuous. They are the same, don't worry. So when should we use present progressive and what is the pattern? Let's begin with the pattern for this grammar point. First, we have in this section our subject. So the beginning of our sentence pattern for the day, will be this part. This is our subject part, where we choose I as the subject, we choose you, we, or they, or we choose she, he, and it. So we need to think about which subject to use because we have to use the correct verb with the subject. So that means if your subject is I, use the verb am. I am. You, we, or they are. And she, he, it is. Okay? A little review here. Next, we use, to make it negative, not in the following position. And we end with a verb in the ing form. Okay? So I am verb-ing, or I am not verbing, or you are not verbing, or he is verbing. Okay? So we will use this grammar pattern today. Next, what does this express? Let's go to the second slide I have. When we use present progressive, we express that something happening at the present, happening now, this star means now, watching this video. That means something is happening now. So this line means it's continuing now. The action is happening now. So, for example, I am teaching. You are watching. You are listening. Something like that, right? Happening now in the moment. Okay? This is important. So let's take a look at some examples. Let's break down these examples and send me your examples in the chat. I will check them live. Okay, so let's see. First one, I am working on my website. I am working on my website. Here is my subject, in this case, I. My verb is am to match the subject, I. Next is the verb in the ing form, work-ing. And in this case, I have my extra information at the end of the sentence. I am working on something, right? So if you want to use this pattern, make sure to use the preposition on. I am working on blah, blah, blah. You can change my website to your project, okay? Also, to make this more natural, we usually say I'm working on my website. So reduce or contract those when possible to sound natural. Marshall on Facebook wrote, I'm actively listening to the live stream. We love that. Great. Okay, let's go to the second example, and then I'll come to more chat points. What does XP mean in the YouTube chat today? I've never seen that before. He is learning how to code. He is learning how to code. Here is my subject, he. We match the he subject with the verb is, yeah? Next is our verb, learning. He is learning, in this case, how to code, Note, for this pattern, we use this how to plus the base form of the verb. If you want to use this pattern, you can use he or subject is learning how to any verb you want. Like, I am learning how to cook, or she is learning how to ride a bicycle. It's a very easy pattern to use, right? Learning how to blah, blah, blah. Pick your verb. Some examples are coming in. Shehab wrote, I'm watching the live English course. Nice, perfect. Others, Inazuma wrote, I'm listening to this live stream. I'm listening to this live stream, not in. That's perfect then. Okay, next, she is studying for an exam. She is studying for an exam. Our subject is she. We match it to the verb is, and then we have verb in the ing form, studying. She is studying. When you want to talk about the topic of your studies, we use for. She is studying for blah, 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 for an exam. If you're a student, you can say, I'm studying for a test. I'm studying for an exam. I'm studying for a certification, right? I'm studying for my final presentation, right? So use the preposition for in this pattern. Note, these prepositions are different. On, for, in this case, how to, yeah? These little words make a big difference. Oh, some other examples are coming. Patient wrote, Ali is learning how to drive a car, okay? Mino wrote, I'm having breakfast while I'm watching you. Oh, okay, nice one. Is that true? Nice. I hope you enjoy your breakfast. All right, continuing. Last one. Let's look at, last two. Let's look at some negative examples now. We aren't working at the office right now. We aren't working at the office right now. So do you remember this page I showed you earlier where I said this means a continuing action? In the negative form, like this sentence, we aren't working at the office right now. It means this action is not happening at this time. So we use this for something that's maybe a regular action or an expected action that is not happening. So we're not working at the office right now. Maybe instead, we're working at the cafe. The sentence grammar is exactly the same. We have our subject here, we. We have aren't. Oh, something weird happened there. So our subject is we, and then aren't is the contracted form are not here. So aren't is how we say it in everyday natural speech. And then the same pattern follows. Working, in this case, a location, at the office right now. We aren't working at the office right now. Okay, last one. They aren't returning our calls. They aren't returning our calls. Oh no. So subject, they, again, aren't, are not, because our subject is they. In this case, our verb is return, ing. What are they not returning? Our calls. Let me check your examples and then we'll continue to the next part. Mary Esther wrote, they are reading those old books. Nice. Inazuma, he's studying for a, do you mean big quiz. Bug quiz is different. Let's see. Sorry, your name ends in Christina. I'm working on my presentation. Nice. Paloma. Hey, Paloma. I'm working on my presentation. Perfect. Great job. Others on Facebook. There's one. Gabino wrote, she is walking in the park. Use the preposition in. She's walking in the park. Inazuma, your negative sentence. He isn't studying for his big quiz right now. Yes, that's correct. He isn't studying for his big quiz. Tudo ke anima wrote, I'm having a great class. Good. Let's continue then. Nice job, everybody. Let's end part 1 with making questions. How do we make questions with this grammar? To do this, we can make a question that begins with a WH question. Who, what, where, when, why, right? So we can start with that to make an information question, or we can start with this, are, is, or am. Starting here makes a yes or no question, are, is, or am. Okay? Finally, we add the subject plus the verb in the ing form. What does this pattern look like? So, what are you doing? Very simple, right? What are you doing? Let's see how the grammar fits this pattern. Here is my WH question. Here is my verb to match. Here is my subject, you, and doing is my verb in the ing form. What are you doing? At native speed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Last one here. Where are they going for lunch? Where are they going for lunch? Again, we have our WH question. We have are in the next position, they as our subject, and our verb going. Where are they going for lunch? Okay, let's see. Other points, points that are about the lesson. Okay, let's continue on to the next, the next part. Real quick, point 1, our grammar point 1 looks good, everybody. Let's go on to point 2 now. Really quickly, if you missed it before, the team has a free PDF ebook for you. Don't miss it. This has the 2,000 core words of English in it. The core words of English are the most important words for everyday communication. So important to know them. So if you don't have this free ebook, go download it from EnglishClass101.com, yeah? Super, super good. Learn the most important words first. I think that's a really good idea. Okay, let's go to part 2, present perfect. Present perfect, I know many people struggle with this, so let's practice it. Don't be afraid of present perfect. Present perfect is your friend, okay? So, present perfect. Oh, also, if you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video, yeah? So other people can find today's lesson. Okay, let's continue. Present perfect tense. Present perfect, here is the pattern, and then I will explain when we use it. To refresh you then, we have our subject. We must choose the subject and match it to have or has, right? So I, you, we, they have. He, she, it has, right? And then we add not to make it negative and the past participle verb form. That's a lot, right? When do we use present perfect? Let's take a look at the second page. So we use present perfect in a couple different situations. First is for something that started in the past, back here, and that continues to the present. Okay, something that started in the past and continued to the present. Or we can use it for something that happened in the past and when it happened is not important. Okay, so for example, I have lived in another country. When? It's not important. I just want to express my life experience, yeah? Or I have eaten sushi before. When is not important. I just express my life experience, okay? So let's go back to the first part and take a look at our example sentences now. So how do we use these to express what we are working on? Here are some examples. I've finished my to-do list for today. I've finished my to-do list for today, okay? So here, right here, oh, where's my marker? Okay, right here, this I've is I plus have. I have is reduced to I've. I've finished. This is my past participle verb. I've finished, right? I have finished means I started it before, and now, by this time, at the present, it is done, okay? Or we could understand it as I did it sometime before today, okay? I've finished my to-do list for today. Yes, it's true. You could say, I finished my to-do list. That sounds like it's a report. It was finished a while ago. If you use I've finished, it sounds a little more recent. It sounds like you were working on it for a while today and now you are done. So both are correct. I finished and I've finished. Okay, let's continue. Sentence 2. He hasn't finished the proposal. Negative, yeah? He hasn't finished the proposal. So subject is he. Here we have hasn't. This is the reduced form, has not. He hasn't. So contract not to nt. He hasn't. Here is our past participle verb. He hasn't finished the proposal, right? You can use this one for something you started working on, continued working on, but it's not done yet, okay? He hasn't finished the proposal, or I haven't finished the proposal. It sounds like you started it, it's in progress, but not ready yet. So this negative form is super helpful. This is a great way to show your boss or to show somebody you started something, it is now in progress, you are going to finish it, but it's not ready at this moment in time. Okay, continuing. She hasn't submitted the paperwork yet. She hasn't submitted the paperwork yet. Our subject is she. We have has not again, right? She hasn't submitted. So to submit, maybe you know the verb to turn in, like to turn in homework. Submit is the professional word for this. To submit paperwork or to submit an application, yeah? The past participle form is submitted. She hasn't submitted the paperwork yet. So today I'm not going to talk a lot about yet and already, but this right here is a big hint. She's going to submit the paperwork, but she hasn't submitted the paperwork yet, right? So that means she is maybe working on it, she's going to do it, just not yet. It hasn't finished yet. Okay, last one, we haven't taken a break today. We haven't taken a break today. Here is my subject, we have here because we use the we subject. Not, again, we haven't, and past participle verb is taken. We haven't taken a break today. Ugh, we need a break, okay? So you can see these negative forms are very, very helpful in work and in school because they communicate you started something, you are working on it now, and it will be finished in the future. Okay, let's move on to questions. I don't see examples in the chat yet. Send some if you feel you want to try. Okay, making questions. How do we make questions and why do we make questions with this? We do a WH question, again, like we talked about before, plus have or has, followed by our subject, I, you, we, they, he, she, and it. And we end with the past participle verb form. So let's look at some common questions you can use here. First, what have you done today? What have you done today? Okay, this is different from what did you do today? Yeah, both are correct, but they have different meanings. What have you done today? If you ask this at lunchtime, it means what have you done or what did you do from the morning until this point? Yeah. If you ask at the end of the day, it means what did you do all day long? And because we use have instead of what did you do today, it means I expect you are continuing your work or you're continuing your studies, you're continuing your action, yeah? If you say, what did you do today? It sounds like it's finished, you're done, right? So when you meet your friend for dinner, you can say, oh, what did you do today? Because it's finished, right? That means your job, your studies, your family, whatever, yeah? That sounds natural. What did you do today is done. What have you done today means I expect you are going to continue something. So this is a question your boss or maybe your parents might ask you, or your teacher. What have you done today? Okay? It sounds like they expect you are going to do more things. Okay, next one. Where has my boss gone? Where has my boss gone? Oh my gosh. So again, we could use simple past tense here. We could say, where did my boss go? Where did my boss go? But where has my boss gone? It sounds like my boss went somewhere and maybe they are still going, or this is a continuing situation. I'm going to continue searching for my boss. I don't know where my boss is. So if you say, where did my boss go? It sounds like the boss is gone completely. Finished. They left the building maybe. We don't know. So there's a little more wiggle room with this. But where has my boss gone uses the WH question plus has plus, in this case, my boss. So this subject is actually my boss here. And the past participle verb is gone. Okay? And finally, who has she spoken to? Who has she spoken to? WH question, has, she is our subject, and our past participle verb is spoken to. Who has she spoken to about this? Did she speak to the client? So we often use present perfect together with past perfect to ask about continuing situations and finished situations and their relationship. Okay, let's see. I don't see any examples. Well, something terrible has happened in the chat. Okay. Oh, are they down there now? Ah, great. Okay, now there's some examples. Thank you, Control Desk. Sorry if I missed you guys there. We had a little technical moment. Oh my gosh. Minnow wrote, I've finished. Maybe I would say, I know we're not talking about it today, but I've already finished my housework this morning to emphasize that something is done maybe early. That sounds good. Others, Mary Esther wrote, you've written a note. Nice one. Can we scroll down a little bit more? Thank you. Patient wrote, she hasn't studied for the exam. She hasn't studied for the exam, okay? Inazuma, I have often confused had and has. What is the difference? I have a video about that. Do a search on the YouTube channel. Search had, has. I have like 4 videos about that because it's not always the same answer. It depends on how it's used in the sentence. Sebas wrote, I have already eaten dinner. Nice. Paloma wrote, he hasn't sent the emails with all the details. Perfect. Patient wrote, where have you been today? Perfect. Facebook. Oh, there's one. Why have you done the exercise? Okay. Okay, that's grammatically correct. Others. Mary Esther, careful. Why haven't you... Which verb form? Doing the homework? You need the past participle verb form, yeah? Why haven't you done the homework? Then it's perfect. Good example. Very, very close, Mary Esther. Okay, let's continue to the end because time always goes quickly. I'll just remind you quickly, and then I'll tell you again officially at the end about this free PDF ebook. Amazing. Core words of English are the most important words. Get it now so you can study the best words right from the beginning. Okay, let's go to the last part because, oh my gosh, so much information. Present, perfect, progressive, a very long name for this grammar point. Present, perfect, progressive. Let's look at the pattern and then we will look at when we should use it. So, subject, have or has been verbing, okay? Subject has been verbing, all right? So, 2 points to notice here. 1, we have this subject have or has. This is the same as present perfect. However, we have to use been and the verb in the ing form here, okay? So this grammar point is kind of like this one, present progressive, and present perfect together. Ugh. So it's very confusing. I understand. Trust me, I understand. So let's go slowly. I also want to note, this is the grammar point we often use for and since with. I'm not going to talk a lot about for and since today because I don't have time. This is a very big lesson. If you want to know more about this grammar point, you can search the English Class 101 YouTube channel, or if you are a member of the website, thank you very much, you can search for that on our website also, so you can get my lesson and all kinds of information there. So next, let's look. When should we use this grammar point? Present perfect progressive is something we use for an action that started in the past, continues to the present, and that it feels like it's going to continue in the future also, yeah? So you can maybe see how these three grammar points are very different, yeah? This one, present progressive, is happening now. This one happened at a point in the past, right? This one is continuing, started in the past, continues, and keeps going, okay? So maybe you can see the differences between these three, okay? Let's continue. I'll check your answers quickly. Oh, wow, there's already examples. You guys are great. Wow, nice job. Elman wrote, she has been writing for an hour. Whew, nice one. Sebas wrote, she has been studying all day long. Great. Minna wrote, I've been working as an English teacher since 2010. Is that true? That's cool. Victor, I haven't finished, that's a different one. I haven't finished learning English. So we have to check, link those two verbs together. I haven't finished learning English because it's a lifelong task. Yeah, me too. I learn new English words all the time. It's true. Okay. Ayman wrote, again, he has been playing games since 9 a.m. Oh my gosh, you guys have so many good examples already. Natalie wrote, I have been living in the UK for 3 years. Someone, your last name Diaz maybe? They've been living in CR since 2017. Mary Esther wrote, she's been learning a lot. Oh my gosh, you guys are saying all the examples before I can give the examples. Everybody, you're teaching yourselves today. I love it. I approve. Very impressive. Facebook, where's it going? What's going on over there, Facebook? Your YouTube classmates are doing a good job. Let's go to Alicia's examples because they're here. So let's talk about them. The first one, I have been cooking dinner for 2 hours. Let's break down the grammar here. Our subject, I. Come on, board, you can do it. Okay, I. I. And then have, because our subject is I didn't write it here, but I have. Next we have been, and then we have the verb in the ing form. I have been cooking dinner, in this case, for 2 hours. We use for plus a length of time. I've been cooking dinner for 2 hours. If you want to use since, you need to use a point in time. I've been cooking dinner since 5 o'clock, right? Okay, next one. He's been building his website since last month. He's been building his website since last month. One key point I want to talk about in this one. It's a very small point, but this is very important. So get ready. It's this. He's. This little apostrophe S. So this one, he's apostrophe S, H-E apostrophe S, or same thing with she's. Same idea. Sometimes this means he has. In this sentence, it means he has, right? That's our grammar point. But sometimes it means he is. How do you know what's the difference? If you say, for example, he's been building his website, or for example, he's funny. Really simple sentence. They both use he's, but this one, only this one means he has. The other one means he is. This is a common contraction in English. So a question is, how do you know? How do I know which one is has and which one is? The answer is this been. If after the contracted he's or she's, you see been, it means has. This will get easier to recognize as you practice. He's been building. You will notice the grammar after this is different. So you know it's not, it can't be is, because if you write that, it would be he is been building, which is grammatically not correct, right? So if you ever think, is this an is or a has, try to remove the contraction and say he has or he is. Which one fits in the sentence, which is correct? that's the one that you want. Okay, let's look at the last example here. My friend has been advertising her business in a local magazine for 6 months. Ooh, I made a long one here. My friend has been advertising my friend has been advertising her business in a local magazine for 6 months. Let's break this down. Subject, my friend has, okay? My friend has. Plus, been advertising, our verb in the ing form. What has she been advertising? Her business. In this sentence, I include even more information. I do it within a local magazine. My friend has been advertising her business in a local magazine. So I explain the method, right? Then I end it with for 6 months, right? So we can include a lot of information in sentences like these. We need to use those little prepositions to help us do that, to help us connect. Okay, let me check the chat and then we'll go to the last part, questions. Paloma wrote, she's been trying to fix my laptop for 4 hours. That's a long time. I hope that's not true. I hate it when my laptop breaks. Renee on Facebook wrote, someone has been, you need a subject. You have no subject, Renee. Someone has been eating bananas on the tree. Maybe the monkey has been eating bananas on the tree. That's a good one. Okay, back to YouTube. Alex wrote, I have been looking for an English teacher for 5 years. Then it's good. Don't forget your article an, because the next word starts with a vowel sound. Inazuma, he hasn't been attending class. No in there. He hasn't been attending class for almost a month, okay? Juan Matos wrote, I've been studying English by 101 for 3 years. I've been studying English with maybe this channel, or I've been studying English with English Class 101 for 3 years. Is that true? Thank you. That's awesome. That's super cool. Okay, phew, let's finish. So much to explain today, but we made it. The last part now, making questions. How do we make a question with this grammar point? Same idea as before, a WH question. Who, what, where, when, why. To begin, plus have or has, plus the subject, been, verb, ing. Wow, that's a big pattern. But you can just drop in your words in subject and verb positions and in the WH question positions to easily make your own sentence. So let's look at a few common ones. What have you been working on recently? That's the goal for today's lesson, for you to explain what you've been working on recently. Yeah? So I've been working on building a new website, or I've been working on getting new clients, yeah? Or I've been working on my house projects, yeah? So you can explain what you have been working on. Second, where have you been taking classes? Where have you been taking classes? That's a good one to know. So where have you been taking classes is a more, I think, kind of rich and valuable sentence than where did you take classes? Why, I guess. Where did you take classes is not incorrect, but it sounds like it's finished. That action's done. You do not take classes anymore. Where have you been taking classes sounds like where is your class that you go to now, you went to in the past, and you are continuing to go to, yeah? So if someone asks you, where have you been taking English classes? You can say, oh, I have been taking English classes at EnglishClass101.com. See what I did there? Okay. So these are really, really valuable. Like, they give us a lot of information. If you want to upgrade your English speaking, challenge yourself and use these like tough but very useful grammar points. Okay? Okay. We made it. Hooray! We got through a lot of stuff today. If you would like to take a screenshot, you can do that now. Here's a screenshot. I think I can also make a QR code somehow. Does anybody, I don't know, I'll ask you. Do you want a QR code of the lesson? How do I do that? Control S? Do I push this button? Do I do it over here? That one? Okay, I think I can make a QR code. What's the one I push next? I don't know. I should probably figure this out when it's not live. But let me know in the chat if you guys, do you want a QR code where you can scan it and you will get this so you don't have to take a screenshot? Let me know. Kobayashi says, it would be great. How do I do it? I don't know. Settings? I'm afraid to push a button. Oh, maybe it's this one. Ah, share by QR code. Yeah! Okay. I will make this. And you guys should get a QR code in a second. Yay! Oh, let me get it out of the way. Okay, there is a QR code so you can receive today's lesson content. You don't have to take a screenshot. You can see all my notes from today. Okay, how do I get out of here? Great, that worked perfect, hurrah. Okay, good. All right, I have to finish there. But of course, I'll be back next week. What did I choose for next week's topic? Please join me again, same time, same channels, next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time. If you don't know your local time, Google it or set a notification. You'll get a pop-up when we start the live stream. Next week, I'm going to talk about, yes, a very important one to practice, how to use give, receive, borrow, and lend. Those 4 verbs cause a lot of confusion, so I like to do a live stream about them maybe once a year or so. So please join me next week to practice those 4 very important verbs and learn when to use which one, why, and so on. I know that that's one that lots of people struggle with. So that will be very fun. Okay. Phew, we made it. Thanks everybody for joining me. Also, don't forget, I'll remind you one final time, don't forget this amazing PDF ebook. Oh my gosh. This has the 2,000 core words of English, the most important words for everyday conversation. You can get it for free at EnglishClass101.com. So check the link down below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook if you want to get that. You just need a free account to download this. You just need your name and your email address in order to make a free account, and then you can get this PDF ebook and practice those important words. Okay? All right. Phew, we'll finish there. Today was a big lesson, for real. But I want to say thank you to everybody for joining me live. Thank you for your great questions, your great example sentences. I was very impressed today. Oh my gosh, you guys were teaching the lesson yourselves. That was amazing. So thank you all very much for joining me this week. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And I will see you again next time. Bye.